Good evening. I'm still reporting on politics. Last night, serious allegations of vote fraud were leveled against the Ted Cruz camp by Dr. Ben Carson. Just before the voting began, Dr. Carson was receiving excited calls from his workers reporting a large turnout for him at caucus sites. I got calls from several people who told me their internal intelligence said that I was going to do extremely well. It all started out 33 seconds before 7 p.m., which was the official time for the start of the Iowa Caucuses. The Ted Cruz 2016 official Twitter site sent out this tweet seconds before the top of the hour. CNN is reporting that Ben Carson will stop campaigning after Iowa. Make sure to tell all your peers at the caucus supporting Carson that they should coalesce around the true conservative who will be in the race for the long haul, Ted Cruz. Perfect timing. The Cruz speakers at caucuses across Iowa got up and repeated the news to the assembled crowds and urged Ben Carson voters to switch immediately. How many is not known, but at the very least, several sites. This was quickly followed by an official Ted Cruz 2016 press release on official stationery. Breaking news, the press is reporting that Dr. Ben Carson is taking time off from the campaign trail after Iowa and making a big announcement next week. Please inform any Carson caucus goers of this news and urge them to caucus for Ted Cruz. By 7:07 p.m., a mysterious former CIA operative supporting Cruz by the name of Dan Gabriel chimed in on his Twitter account. Source inside Ben Carson's New Hampshire campaign just confirmed to me, Ben Carson is out. Choose Cruz. Gabriel's Twitter account, @DanPGabriel, boasts that Gabriel is ex-CIA. It also boasts that Gabriel specializes in insurgencies, foreign and domestic. According to one veteran intelligence source, this sets off massive alarm bells for anyone who has worked in the intelligence community. By claiming to have worked in domestic insurgencies, Gabriel is admitting to something that may be criminal, but at least flies in the face of the spirit of both the Posse Comitatus Act of 1878 and the Insurrection Act of 1807, and subsequent amendments that prohibit military personnel from being used to meddle in domestic policies within the United States. According to the source, although CIA personnel may be exempt from these laws, such activities are at least frowned upon by the intelligence community for obvious reasons, namely destroying the social compact that government is your protector and not your enemy. By the time you watch this report, Mr. Gabriel's site may have been scrubbed. Another odd thing about Gabriel's Twitter page is the banner photo featuring a bullet hole in the left temple of Saddam Hussein. What is the message here? Also, Gabriel claims to be following 58,700 people. How is that possible for one human being? Late-breaking news on this Gabriel guy. According to a Reddit user, Gabriel is the founder of Applied Memetics, LLC. He is an ex-CIA counterterrorism officer who has ties to, wait for it, George Soros. One of Gabriel's jobs is apparently to sow division between Carson and Trump. One Gabriel tweet stated, "Dirty tricks, hashtag Trump campaign started, hashtag Carson rumor, odd," tweeted Gabriel. Gabriel tried to delete his tweets, but the Twitter user who captured Gabriel's tweets is Big Fry Social Media at Big Fry Media. Big Fry posted the Internet Archive of Gabriel's tweet for permanent proof of the deception operation just after midnight early this morning, February 2nd. Then he got up this morning and he exposed Gabriel to the world at 9:34 a.m. Attention Trump supporters. Cruz advisor Dan P. Gabriel been caught in a dirty trick lying about Carson, then blaming Trump. Block him and RT. As you can see, I'm running about 10 hours behind the real-time events, but that's still days ahead of the MSM. Note to you Twitter experts out there, send this stuff to me. I'll put it up. So it looks like Ted Cruz is employing top social media agent provocateurs to work a Nixon-esque dirty tricks campaign. If you remember, about a week ago, I dubbed Cruz as Clinton 3.0. At least one other campaign immediately smelled a rat as well. Ryan Rhodes, Carson's Iowa State Director, showed reporters a text on his phone from Barbara Heike, a Mike Huckabee supporter. The Cruz speakers at our caucus announced Carson was suspending his campaign for a while after caucus. They did this before the vote. Same thing happened at another caucus. Sounds like slimy cruising to me. Jason Osborne, Carson's deputy senior strategist, said he got an email from their precinct chair in Muscatine, Iowa. The guy speaking for Ted Cruz right before the vote announced that there was a story on CNN that Ben Carson was taking a break after Iowa, and then stated, "So you might want to rethink wasting your vote on him." Did it affect the vote? No one knows. But even though both Carson and his wife Candy were at some of the caucuses and immediately denied Dr. Carson was dropping out, the Cruz camp just accidentally neglected to put out any notices or tweets making a correction. In other words, they let the false information stand to do whatever damage it could. That is really quite a dirty trick, Carson told reporters Monday evening. That's the very kind of thing that irritated me enough to get into this quagmire. Ed Brookover, Carson's campaign manager, called it the lowest of low in American politics. And after initially denying any wrongdoing Monday night, today Cruz apologized and called it a mistake. Others are not so sure, fearing the timing between CNN and the nearly instant transmission throughout every Iowa caucus point by the Cruz campaign could hardly have been coincidental. How would boosting Cruz have benefited CNN, known to some as the Communist News Network? Some believe that Cruz would certainly be the easiest of the three major candidates for a Democrat to defeat. In running as an uber-conservative, Cruz minimizes his ability to draw from the crucial undecideds in the center of the political spectrum during a general election. If Cruz wins the nomination, then yet another far-left Democrat will be the next president. According to Dr. Carson, this is an extremely dirty political trick on the part of the Cruz campaign. And guess what? It may be illegal too. If so, in the state of Iowa, it's a Class D felony. Section 39A.2 of the Iowa Code, titled Election Misconduct in the First Degree, states, Number 1, a person commits the crime of election misconduct in the first degree if the person willfully commits any of the following acts. B, vote fraud, defined as, number 5, otherwise deprives, defrauds, or attempts to deprive or defraud the citizens of this state of a fair and impartially conducted election process. And in the section defining the class of criminality, number 2, election misconduct in the first degree is a Class D felony. I'm still reporting from Washington. Good day.